Marketing has always existed. The first marketing transaction might be said to have set a prior precedent when Adam and Eve traded the garden of Eden for a bite of an apple. Some people have used believe that marketing practices have not improved much in ethical standards since the serpent promoted that first deal. Trading or bartering. Bartering means जो बॉर्डर से बिजनेस होता है माल के बदले माल seems to have existed throughout history. Though usually engaged in on the limited scale, marketing as a major force in society is however rather recent. It could not become truly important until human has passed the point at which their productivity exceeds their immediate need for a survival. So marketing actually depends on your productivity, and productivity depends upon the demand. And if you exceed the demand by providing product to the customer, that is a marketing. This evolutionary development occur at different time in different of the world. For this reason, the level of marketing competence is not uniform worldwide, although the rapid spread of international trade seems to be correcting this. Marketing might be said to follow increased production, which follows specialization. Means marketing is also dependent on the production. If you have a more production, then you have a more marketing, which follows specialization. In the United States, for example, early history found settlers seeks out an existence on the few acre of land they were able to clear. Means they put the factory or company on a few acre of land. As these people become more proficient at farming, it became apparent that some were more accomplished tobacco grower than others. Their neighbors, however, might excel at growing corn or wheat. Soon a system of the barter sprang up. Means in the initial stage when they start marketing, whatever they grow, they exchange with the neighbors. As these people become more proficient at farming, it becomes apparent that some were more accomplished tobacco growing than others. Their neighbors, however, might excel at growing corn or wheat. One side, one has got expertise in growing tobacco and other wheat. Soon a system of barter, then they have started exchanging these with each other. Tobacco was traded for corn and corn was traded for tobacco. Wheat forex. Soon it became more difficult for individual to specialize in that which they did best. So So we have seen that how the marketing has started. This is the whole history of the marketing. Since this way, already the best line of work, they're efficiently increasing even more and as at the practice of specialized spread, total output of all type of goods increase. Some of these specialists must certainly have been a wagon maker for to find adequate trading facilities. Producers had to transport their goods beyond the immediate trading area. The problem of transportation was mitigated somewhat by the adoption of medium of exchange money. It was no longer it was no longer necessary to transport the entire productive output to each potential customer. In some cases, specialized arose who would buy all of the output of one farmer for a number of buyers, hence the development of wholesale. The last major part of the marketing process have been a result of rapidly developing technology of the mass production and evaluation of the efficient mean of mass production. Mass production means you are making product for the big number of consumers or customers. Communication and rapidly transit. In the United States, it was seen possible to produce enough of almost any product. It has been the task of the proportion portion of the marketing tool. Make the public aware of the availability of the product. Inform the people of the desirable characteristic of the product with an aim of increasing sale. We call it promotion today. So development of pharmaceutical marketing. Among the specialists who emerged during the development of this country were the forerunner of our pharmaceutical manufacturing. Means today we are more modern than as compared to the previous decade. The peddler of the Revolutionary War were the forerunner of our present day detail men, conveying their herbs and remedies to the physician and patient alike. So at that time, the people were selling herbs to the physicians and patients. The developing nations spawned the lilies, the scripts, and the parks and the domes who found the firm that lead the industry today. Retail or community pharmacy as a specialty did not come into its own until after the Civil War, whereas drug wholesaling acutely preceded it in the term of its importance as a separate marketing institution. Sondecker point out that pharmaceutical manufacturing in the United States has been repeatedly stimulated by war because of during the war there are a lot of people who were ill and injured. So you need medicine for them and they were producing from the herbs and they are converting it to the present modern medicines. Particularly since the Civil War, the specialized demand of wartime condition has spawned rapid development of the pharmaceutical industry. The most the most important period has been that of the World War II. Indeed, in many art, the most important period has been the World War II. Indeed, in many respects, the early and the middle 1940s marked the beginning of the pharmaceutical marketing as we know now it. So after, at the start of the World War, because there is a need for the medicines, people were, during the war, they were ill and injured. So they need medicines. It is difficult to separate cause and effects, but there seems little doubt that the widespread use of the sulfas means sulfur drugs like sulfadiazine, sulfamethoxam. This was present even in my childhood. That was the only choice of the drug or the penicillin. The development of penicillin and ultimately the arrival of the wonder drug brought about the near explosion of the therapeutic advancement and occurred in the second half of the 20th century. Means after the World War, there is only a one antibiotic which is a sulfur, sulfamethoxone, sulfadiazine, and after that the penicillin came, and with the penicillin there was only penicillin, not the derivative like ampicillin, piclox, and fluoxetine, but only the penicillin at the after the Second World War. But this is a great revolution because it causes cure from the infectious diseases. So this happened in 20th century. So rapid was the technological progress that marketing has been hard process to keep up. There was in fact little real incentives for the rapid progress in the development of technology of marketing. Even even during the depression years, pharmaceutical sales were good. In the year following World War II, a booming economy was coupled with unusually productive, unusually, unusually productive pharmaceutical research. So the research has started producing a period of unparalleled prosperity for the industry. Because of the nature of products, those who were successfully found used by the literally million of people. The product failure, however, were impressive in magnitude of the failure. Because of the general success of industry, more and more firms attempt to gain a foothold in pharmaceutical. Competition increases proportionally. So there is a competition and there is more attempt for the giving advancement to the pharmaceutical industry. It was no longer possible to depend on product development for sale. So the purpose of producing the new medications was to cure the patient, not for their sale. The wholesaler and the retailer who had grown with the manufacturing become more demanding as well as more sophisticated. Price become a mean of competition, means that at that time only the marketing mix P was the most important price. These and the other development forced the pharmaceutical industry to provide a marketing technology to match its research and develop R&D capabilities. So they have started to giving a research department to the industry companies, which is known as research and development capabilities, and they started researching on different product for different diseases. Those charged with the organization and functioning of effective pharmaceutical marketing departments found themselves in an industry with some unique characteristics and problems. For effective marketing, they have opened a department, and for that department, there is a unique characteristic, and there was a problem for marketing. The most dramatic difference between the industry and other product producing goods for general use was the unusual method by which the decision to purchase was made. Means it's not easy to purchase a pharmaceutical product as compared to the normal FMCG products, fast moving goods product, because it's a very technical. There is one educated person in between, that is a physician and the pharmacist. The consumer had no choice regarding the individual product he or she purchased. So the patient cannot purchase by himself. He is dependent on the physician. This decision was made by the third party, the physician. As a consequence, the industry found itself concentrating its promotional activity on 400,000 men and women who decided the purchase of 250 million people. Means about 400,000 physicians are deciding about 250 million people. It's a huge number of the patient. So they are the decision maker, the physicians, for providing medicine to the patient. The products themselves are unusual. At the same time, they are helping save lives and reduce human misery. They can also do harm if misused. So it's a so sensitive product that it provides the benefit to the patient as well as it has got some adverse effects. So this decision has to be taken by the physician, not by the patient. Many are dangerous. As a consequences, pharmaceutical marketing find it itself the most heavily regulated of any industry. So, like in Pakistan, DRAP, the Drug Regulatory uh, Institution in Islamabad, which take care of these pharmaceutical marketing and products. So there is a strict regulatory rules and regulation for opening an company or an enterprise for to manufacture pharmaceutical product. Both the retailer and the decision maker must be licensed. So the retailer should be licensed, the manufacturer and wholesaler should be licensed and registered distributor, which most industries strive to make as wide as possible, is limited by the law to certain outlets. So you cannot sell medicine from the general stores, general shops, but it has to be sold through pharmacies in the presence of a pharmacist. Distribution, which most industries strive to make as wide possible, is limited by the law to certain outlets because of their involvement with health. Drug take on a special character. Discussion of the health matter tend to be both personal and emotional. As consequences, the pharmaceutical marketing is open to strong and immediate criticism for any mistake, despite its particularities. However, the industry still function under the same set of basic market restraints as any other. Means they have put a lot of restraints for pharmaceutical product marketing. The same function principles must be applied, albeit in unusual circumstances. The same function must be performed whether the product is an injectable anti-cancer agent or revolutionary breakthrough in household detergent. The, the social function of marketing. The social function of marketing. Returning to the concept of macro marketing, means big marketing, we wish to focus on ways marketing make possible great effectiveness and efficiency in advance. Both supply and consumption are heterogeneous and affected by the troublesome heterogeneity and separation. Means how to supply the drug in the market to the consumer or the physician or the pharmacist, and how to consume are different. The role of marketing is to overcome both. It is generally agreed that this accomplishes high performance of the universal function of marketing, buying, selling, which is a normal phenomenon. One side is buying, other side is selling, transporting, storing, standardization, and grading, financing, risk taking, and market information. Success in such performance provide economical utility and we believe better health and a better quality of life. A brief look at these functions can demonstrate the importance of each. Buying involves finding and evaluating goods and services, means the patient, the doctor has to find out in the market the product and the services. For retailer and wholesaler, this is done on the behalf of their customer. Means the customer comes, the retailer go to the wholesaler, and the customer go to the retailer and buy the product. Selling is the most visible function and include all form of the promotion, although management consultant Peter Drucker has written, there will always, one can assume, be a need for some selling, but the aim of marketing is to make selling superfluous. The aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well that the product or the services sell itself. Ideally, marketing should result in a customer who is ready to buy. So we have to find out at the end of the customer when he is ready to buy the product. He is not ready always, but he is ready in certain situation. So we have to understand that our customer is ready to buy the product or not. The social function of the marketing. Here is giving a figure which I have just explained you. Returning to the concept of macro marketing, we wish to focus on the way marketing makes possible great effectiveness and efficiency in advanced economies. Figures show that both supply and consumptions are production sector. Specialized and division of the labor result in heterogeneous supply capabilities. Spatial separation produces and consumes are separated geographically. Producers tend to cluster together by industries and a few concentrated locations, while consumers are located in many scattered locations. So this is a spatial separation. Separation in time. Consumer may not want to consume goods at the time they are produced, and time may be required to transport goods from producer to consumer. It's maybe it's a winter season and you are producing chest infection diseases. Uh, you are producing diarrhea product which is not happening in the cold winter. So separation in time is very important. Separation of information. Producer who do not know who needs what, where, when, and at what price. Consensus. Consumer do not know what is available from whom, where, when, and at what price. Separation in value. Separation of ownership. Producers should hold title to goods and services that they themselves do not want to consume. Con- Consumer want goods and services that they do not know. Discrepancies of the quality. Producer prefer to produce and sell in large quantities. Consumer prefer to buy and consume in the small quantity. Di- Dis- Discrepancies of the assortment to sort out. Producers specialize in producing a narrow assortment of the goods and services. Consumer needs a broad assortment. Competition sector, heterogeneous demand for form, time, place, and position, utility of the to satisfy needs and wants. So this is the way social function of the marketing. Now we can talk about the transportation involved in physical movement of the goods and provide place utility. Storing means holding goods until consumer needs them, a major activity in the channel of the distribution. Standardizing and grading sort goods in a variety of ways so that consumer needs not do so regularly. Agencies require much of this activity. Financial bringing the money necessary to discover, develop, and produce and deliver the goods. Risk taking cover the uncertainties that are especially inherent in the pharmaceuticals. Market information involves collecting, analyzing, and distributing information needed to plan, carry out, and control marketing activities. Not all marketing function must be performed by every firm, but every function must be performed the way in which this work is portrayed in. Individually, each company will attempt to modify its marketing mix, means 7 P's: product, price, place, promotion, people, process, and physical evidence. The combination of the goods, services, promotion, and the distribution that it offered to make it distinctive. Because of this relationship, the usually happy result is a combination of product and services that approximately the need of the marketplace as closely as possible. So product should be well designed as well as your services should be good to provide a best opportunity to fulfill the need of your market customers. Here is the chart which we mentioned before. General principles. Many individual producer or heterogeneous supply, distribution channel partners, facilities, advertisement agencies, marketing research firms, contract research organization, financial institution, academical institution, etc. Perform universal marketing function as described in text to overcome discrepancies of quality and assortment, and to overcome separation of the space, time, information, and value and ownership. To create firm, place, and position, utility, and direct the flow of needs, satisfaction, goods, and services to many individuals, consumers, heterogeneous demand. Communication is spreading the word. Even though marketing succeeds in its basic task, which we define to include light product, quantity, place, price, and time, it is still theoretically possible for the product to fail as marketable item. Means there can be a failure in marketing if you are not communicating properly to the, means you have to spread your words to the customer, means patient and doctors and pharmacists. Potential area of failure could be desired broadly as communication. Means if your communication is not proper, if you fail in communication, it means it is not possible for you to sell your product in the market without communicating through advertisement or any other mean. The place of the marketing communication process most familiar to us is advertising. This is the most visible and perhaps exciting form of communication. However, if marketing is performing efficiently, communication will be a two-way process. Here we have to add in that communication can be done through the advertisement, public relation, sales promotion, and direct marketing. The minimum amount of information that must be communicated by the manufacturer is the availability of a product. Obviously, one does not purchase a product one does not know exists. Physician engaged in what Anderson called a vicarious search with a knowledge of need of the patient. They search the characteristic of available product for the patient who are not equipped to judge. For that which most closely approximate the answer to the patient problem. Although physicians are Although physicians are engaged in this relatively active educated process, there is a strong possibility that they will not become aware of a given product unless someone, usually but always the manufacturer, has made a formal effort to communicate to them its availability, and we call it promotion. The medical rep visited to the physician and provide a complete information about their new product, as well as we arrange a symposium, seminar, conferences, roundtable meetings to pass on the information of that particular drug to those physicians and pharmacists. We would not expect the producer of an expensive new product to limit this communication to what third autopiotic is now being marketed by the REMS standard pharmaceuticals. The marketer will wish to tell doctors what make the product worth their prescription. To explain its proper use and for the patient good to point out the inherent danger in the use of the product. Means you have to mention the effectiveness of a product, mechanism of action of product, pharmacokinetics of the product, pharmacodynamics. You have to discuss with the doctor. And the adverse effect and side effect of that product. Drugs have been described as a two-edged sword. One side is effectiveness and the other side is adverse effect. With the benefit of therapy always offset to some degree by risk, the sale of the product should not be an important that manufacturers try to conceal the potential side effect of the drug. However, to save the public against such short-sighted thinking, the Food and Drug Administration (FDA), which is the biggest authority in the United States to keep eye on these medicines which is available in the market or launched in the market, has promulgated regular aim at ensuring the complete information on the use of each drug reaches physician. So you have seen that how to produce a drug or medicine in a manufacturing premises, how to make it available in the market, and how the physicians and the pharmacists and patients should be informed about that product and keep eye on their effectiveness and adverse effect. The communication model, how to communicate the information of your product to the doctor. So communication model says that there is an authority, a responsible person, we call it sender. The sender is a person who transmits the message. Who transmits the message? The company transmits the message. To whom it will transmit? To the doctor, physician, and patient. The originator of the phone call or conversation, the sender generates the content of the message, means you have to make a statement in which there is a content of the message, what you want to try to say, to inform to the patient, to the physician or the pharmacist or a patient, and decided to whom it should be sent. It should be sent to the physician, nurses, paramedical, physiotherapist, radiologist, pharmacist, to whom. Once she or he has thought out the message, he encodes it. If somebody see your message, he must know how to encode the message. For example, if I will send a message in my brochure or through seminar or symposium that take this tablet TID or TD or BID or QID or HS or OD, what do they understand? They must have an ability to decode. OD means once, BD means twice, TID or TD means thrice, QID means 4 times, HS means at the time of sleep. So he must be able to encode. The encoder transforms the message into appropriate media. The encoder may simply be the mind of a sender and he think out the word to use, or it may be a mechanical service such as the telephone or dictaphone. The more complicated the encoder, the greater the danger of communication failure. So if encode cannot be done by the receiver, like the physician, pharmacist. If I'll say the route of administration of this drug is intrathecal. So does this understand by the physician or a surgeon or a surgery staff? Subdural route of administration. Media. The media is the mean which the message is transmitted on telephone, verbally, written, internet, or through advertisement. The telephone line, a speech, an interview, or a letter are all examples of media. The difficulty arises. The difficulty arises when the encoder is not properly adapted to the message. Choosing a letter or memo where a meeting would have been more effective. So it's better to give a written than verbal. The decoder. The decoder is basically the mind of the receiver. Decoding is an attempt to reconstruct the intended message from the messenger and actually transmit it. The decoding takes place when the receiver frowns and says, "What does she means?" If the code is not agreed or explained, the decoding will fail. The receiver. The receiver is the person whom the message is directed. The receiver has three duties: to listen to the message. Listen, not hearing. Listening stimulate your brain and then you become active and response. But hearing is not a proper way of taking the message. Decode it and transmit back feedback to the sender. When you decode it, then you rephrase it with the sender that what I understand, is it right or wrong? Because if you are not asking from the sender that what you understand with the message, then maybe you have understand wrongly. So you have to go give a feedback to the sender and understand the message. Communication with impact. When communication has a particular intention, it may be helpful to consider a complete transaction. Means full message should be transferred or face-to-face interaction in terms of the stage or part which highlighted important features in the communication. These 8 stages may receive different emphasis in various transactions, but at one time or another, each stage will be necessary for effective communication. Prepare the message. How to prepare the message? Prepare yourself. So message has to be prepared. If you are giving some message to someone, then you have to select the words. Preparing yourself, gaining attention of making contact, preparing the receiver. You have to inform to the receiver that I am sending you a message and be ready for that. Sending the message, then you send the message, received and clarify the reply. When he decoded, then he will give you the feedback. And when you receive, then you have to clarify it. Closing the communication, how to close the communication, then follow it up. And you have to follow that. Are they following a right your instruction in a right way or a wrong way? So this is all the way communicating with impact. If you want impact of a communication, you have to follow these eight points. For example, first thing, preparing the message. It is surprising how many people communicate without knowing what it is they wish to achieve. Means you are giving a message without thinking that what action should be taken by the receiver. Be aware of exactly what you want to communicate and then check whether that is what you really want by asking yourself, why am I doing this? Have a clear cut objective will help you keep on track and not lose your way through distraction. Be clear, brief, and specific. Come to the point quickly. Explaining can follow later. The following checklist will help in preparing your message. What is the main message? If you just mention a lot of things, excluding the main message, what you des- desire from the receiver, who who is it for? You are giving a message for a child of adult or adult for child. What outcome do I want? What result are you expecting? How will I communicate? Through telephone, verbal, memo, later? What is the best time? Maybe he is not available and you're sending the messages. Where is the best place, office or home? Are the major point clear? Is there ambiguity? Is there any doubts? Does it include all the information they need to know? So you have to prepare a message on the basis of these points. 5 Ws and 1 H has to be executed here. What to say, when to say, whom to say, why to say, where to say, and how to say. Preparing yourself, if you do not value yourself, it is unlikely that you will convey that your message is worth attending to. So preparing yourself, if you do not value yourself, it is unlikely that you will convey that message is worth attending to. If you are not giving importance to your message yourself, then how the receiver will give importance to your message? Every time you speak, you are presenting yourself. Means whenever you speak or give a message to someone, means you are presenting yourself. Non-verbal messages speaks volume about the kind of the person you are and whether you value yourself or not. If you are giving just with the body language, non-verbal, then it is representing your value of that matter. Try to convey this value by creating the environment that brings out the best in you and believe assertive, gaining attention, having the expectation that somebody will respond positively when you attempt to gain his or her attention is essential. Important communication are the best tool, not left to chance encounter or time when there are other pressure or distraction. In face of the face communication, you can attract attention by the following. If you are coming face to face to giving the message, then you follow these things. Ask for it. Can I give you the message? Humor, little jokes, eye contact, engage listener's interest. Please talk something about his interest who is listening. Visual images show them. Vocal intensity, how loudly you are talking. What is the depth of your voice? Body gesture and position, how you move your body, means non-verbal communication. Personal appearance, however you conduct your communication, make sure that you have the that you have the other person's attention before you begin your message. Preparing the receiver. If your message if your message is shocking or your listener is not expecting or ready for your message, you may need preparing the receiver if your message is shocking. Saying what you want to communicate. Include saying what you want to communicate. What message do you want to give to the so we were talking about preparing the receiver and we are talking about the communication, how to communicate. So saying what you want to communicate, say what benefit. Hello. हाँ हाँ मैं करता हूँ अभी एक्चुअली पहली क्लास की रिकॉर्डिंग में कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि स्टूडेंट काफ़ी देर नहीं आया तभी शपथ का फ़ोन आया मेरे पास तो मैसेज आया तो मेरी बिजली गई हुई थी लाइट गई हुई थी तो मैं 11 बजे शुरू कर रहा हूँ आपकी क्लास ठीक है। Saying what benefits they might gain as a result, checking that they are willing to communicate, warning them of the importance of your communication, asking rhetorical questions to awaken curiosity. This is all the method for preparing the receiver for the communication. Number 5, sending the message. When you are in the process of relaying the message, keep in mind what you are communicating for. Use simple language, avoid unnecessary details, and emphasize the main point. Keep in mind what you are communicating. Use simple language, avoid unnecessary details, and emphasize the main point to add the listener understanding. What impact relate what you are saying to the emotion as well as mind. Means what message you are giving to the receiver, that can be a patient or a doctor or a pharmacist or paramedical staff. So you have to think about how this message touches his emotion and mind. While presenting your message, speak audibly, loudly. Vary your pitch means sometimes keep your pitch down, sometimes up. Tone and volume, higher volume and tone. Response to sign of confusion or disinterest. If somebody is not interested, bring him in and make his interest and remove the confusion. Pause for questions and clarification. Summarize to help understanding. Talk to people, not at them. Means you just giving a lecture to an audience, means you're not talking with the audience. You're talking with the each and every individual. So take the concentration of all individual on your speech. Switch the approach if your is not working. If it is not working properly to convey your message to the audience, then change your method. Receiving and clarification. Listening is the primary skill needed here. It is not simply listening is the primary skill needed here. It is not simply not speaking. It is an active process of attending to the speaker. Means listening is the primary skill needed here. It should not be should be hearing, but it should be listening. Beware of switching off due to dull response or because you disagree. Means you just stop talking to the audience and you finish the communication because of the response of audience. Audience are not giving it. It means your message is not passing from this side to that side, getting hooked on detail or missing main points. Sometimes you are stuck with your own presentation. So you must consider about that also. Being preoccupied with your own problem and not concentrating on what is said trying to win over the other persons rather than giving a fair hearing. 7 points. Closing a conversation, how to close your communication. Often an interaction can become boring, stuck, and destructive, or simply have achieved its purpose. In such cases, it is essential to have appropriate way of finishing the transaction. Some close strategies include: what strategies do you adopt when you are closing your communication? A demand for action or reaction. If there is a demand for action or reaction, you have to stop, you do not close it. Suggest way forward, summarizing what has been achieved. Then you close your communication. Arranging another meeting means you say that, okay, the next meeting will be day after tomorrow. This is the way how to close, indicating that you have finished. Inform them that you have finished your lecture, thanking the person for their time. Follow up. In many cases, effective communication need to be followed up to get something done, to stay in touch and maintain the relationship. Means you have to go back to the audience through any media of communication and then find out that how they respond and how much they understand your message. This is all about today. Message over here from my side is that I have started this lecture at 9:30 and I was waiting for a student to come, but they were not there because of the shafaq. What she has given me a message that there was no light. If there was no light, there was a mobile phone. At least you can inform to me and the other student to contact me. So next time you should be careful and follow my instruction, what I have given you the message. If you are not available, you should appoint someone else from your class so I can contact on WhatsApp or send my link to that student. So you must do your in your home. There must be such. If your mobile is not charged, then you can use your family member and you can inform to your colleagues to at least contact me so I can send the link. So this is all about today. See you tomorrow. Okay.